All right, so following it up another video that we recently did about attendance tracking, I wanted to show you guys how you can build a form that will just simply allow them to scan it as a QR code and then for them to be able to trigger a particular event inside a particular field. So let's dive into it. In this particular case, um, we're going to need to have firstly create a form. So you need to go into sites. By going to sites, you're going to make sure you go into let me just minimize this. And you're going to go into the section where it says forms, go to builder. And in here, I'm going to add a new form from start just to show you how you can do it from scratch. So in here, you're going to build a brand new form and we are going to, let me just do this. Name, phone number, email, that's pretty straightforward. The only thing we're going to do here is I want to make sure this is not required. And we are actually going to hide all these fields. First of all, and here we go, going to hide it, hide it, hide it. It's all hidden. We're going to make it not required, hide this, not required, and hidden. Okay, so these fields are all hidden. The reason why I want to make it hidden is because these are all already contacts in your business. Once what we are going to do here is we are going to add them into what we call a sticky contact. So under options, I'm going to actually put a name in here. So this is a check-in button. And under here, we're going to make a sticky contact. So because they're members, because they're already in the system, they can actually just simply come in here and update this particular button without having to go through the whole process of entering their name. So by doing that, this button is at check-in. Okay, and then I'm going to add a message. Thank you for you are now checked into the gym. Right, so we have a button, we've got a message at the end here, and I'm just going to leave that for now. Just very quickly show you what this will look like. So if I go integrate and I'm going to open the form, and this is just a button, I'm going to remove that little section here. Don't need it. Okay, let's do it again. So here we go. Bam. Okay. So just all you need to do is just a little icon, just a little button. It just goes check in. And now this is just a check-in button. So it's a form submission and we can very easily just simply go, okay, when this form has been submitted, we are now going to update a number in the system. So in this case, what we can do, if we go in this particular case, I want to create a workflow that whenever that form has been submitted, I'm going to update the weekly attendance number, right? So I'm going to go into the number of, let's go into a automation. We're now going to go in here, create a workflow. Let me go to a folder actually. Okay, weekly attendance, create a workflow. And now I'm going to go from scratch. Actually, I don't need to go from scratch. I'll go use the workflow we already have. And we can actually do exactly the same thing. So this is what I was showing before in the other training video, is that your updated weekly attendance number can be done several ways. So you can do it through an integration you may have, or you can do it through a form submission within your gym. So this could be something they can do as a QR code. This is something they can do as a as a as a scan that coming in. It could be a button you can have on their contact. But the thing is that they need to make sure they scan a QR code, or they need to have the ability to scan a QR code so that they can actually on their phone check themselves in. So this is where it gets a little bit, you have to make sure you have a little process in place, because without them having to scan the QR code, the system is not going to be able to recognize who they are. So in this particular case, we are now going to go in here and I'm going to go, form submission. and I think I called it, what did we call it? Weekly attendance number. Filter weekly attendance number, I think it is. Let's have a look. No, hang on. That's form submission. Form is check-in button. Here we go. Check-in button. Okay, so when the check-in button has been submitted, we're now going to increase the weekly attendance number by 1, right? So that is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to make sure that the moment they submit that, every time they check in, we're going to increase our weekly attendance by 1. And at the same time, we are also going to then make sure that this other workflow, which is this attendance tracker, every time that once they submit their first time they're coming into when they come into the gym, so the form submission, the form is check in button. So the very first time they check in, they're going to come into this particular workflow, and then they continue that loop. So very first time they come in, they're now going to be added into this particular workflow, and it will remain that particular, they will go into a loop for the next 7 days. Okay, so let me show you what this may look like. Is that let me grab my phone, and I'm going to just show you what it will look like. Let me pause this for a minute. Okay, I'm going to actually show you guys how you create this into a QR code. We're now going to go into workflows. Oh, hang on, let's just save this. We're now going to go into here. And let's go to save all these. Business profile. And we're going to go to the dashboard. And we should have a little icon down the bottom here. Go to QR code generator. We're going to paste that in there. And then make this 500. Generate the code. And once that code has been generated, we now have the ability to scan that QR code. There we go. Okay, here you go. So I'm not sure we can see it. Here we go. So you can see on my phone, on the QR code, you can see it's just a button, just a check-in button. Okay. And because I'm in the system already, that will pick my name up and it will just go all the way through. So I'm going to just minimize this. I'm going to just go check in. And you're going to see now it says you're now, you can't really see it, but you're now checked in into the gym. So that process have added me into the gym. And if I want to, I'll show you very quickly here what this will look like. And you'll see if I go to these workflows again, you can see we've got a contact in here that is now in the wait step right here. That's me. Okay. The reason why I haven't got the details in it because I wasn't in the system. So you got to remember, if you are in the system as a contact, these details will come in and these will be part of the journey where you got email and phone number in here because it recognizes my name and phone number and will continue through. Okay, so remember, this will work only when you have got someone coming in who is a member, who is currently in your ACR system, and when they scan and hit that checking icon, they'll come into this workflow. And if I click on this person, you'll be able to see that their record has been updated as an attendance as 1. So if I go to this particular profile, it'll just load up a little bit. Okay, so I'll go to here, number of attendance. I believe is under attendance tracking. You can see weekly attendance number has gone up to 1. And that's how you work. So the moment you hit the check-in button, the number will go up. And after 7 days, it will remain in that particular workflow. If that number remains under 3, then I'll get a message or I'll get moved into a pipeline stage or I can get that moved into an alert and so on.